looking up information for social services, and then I'm gonna give it to her. She needs help right now.
Brian, I know Miranda, and, did she ask you for this help? Did she ask you to look up social services?
No, but is she really just gonna let her ex-husband harass her? I don't understand this. I don't understand why she's so tolerant of him.
Well, Brian, I think we've seen it time and time again with people in our lives, that we have this stable, civil-minded person who has their life together, and you couldn't imagine them being with a toxic person. You imagine them being with this perfect quarterback who would never lay a finger on them or anything like that. But then you have Miranda and Joey, and yes, he doesn't lay a finger on her, but he's still super toxic, and she is not. She doesn't belong with him, and yet she's under his spell, and I completely understand your frustration because she's my best friend, and I've been dealing with this for years, let alone other people who shouldn't be in the relationships that they're in, and yet they're constantly under this toxic spell, and I can't understand it. It's not for me, and it's not for you. But you can only care about her, I guess. I don't have an answer.
So what? I'm supposed to just stand by and let this guy stalk her house, threaten me, just be a deadbeat general.
I know how you feel. I'm not an alpha male or anything like that. I don't consider myself one, but there have been times where I want to save Miranda. But the fact of the matter is, we're not in a movie. Women don't need saving like that. They don't need a white knight in shining armor. She's fully capable of handling herself. And I know you have that impulse, but again, it disrespects and belittles her as a person when you feel like you need to protect her, if that makes any sense.
I just don't get it. It bothers me. It really plagues me. This man cheated on her. He abandoned her. He treats her like garbage. He takes his mother's side over everything. And yet, whenever I try to move things forward with Miranda, it feels like he's right there in between. That he's still this wall. That she's still connected to him.
I can't speak for all women because I am not a woman. But they are emotional. And you add that layer of having a child with a man, might make it harder for her to detach.
So what, because they have a child together, that gives her the excuse to put up with all his bad behavior? That forces her to work things out with him for eternity? When's enough enough?
You know, we're not allowed to read comments, but there was one comment that I snuck a peek at. It was from a man, and he was speaking to someone else in the comments. And he said that Miranda is toxic too. And I never stopped to think about whether or not she was. But I think there is a part of her that's toxic, and I think maybe you need to reconcile with that. I mean, we're all a little toxic, right? You just need to understand her pace, I guess.
How long am I supposed to wait for her? I understand she's still married to him. She doesn't want to do anything while she's married. But there's part of me that feels like she's just gonna run back to him. That they're just gonna fix things. And I'm wasting my time.
Well, are you doing things for her and staying with her because you care about her, or are you doing it just because you want to be with her?
Both. And is that so wrong? Is it so wrong that I do things for her because I genuinely care about her, but I want to be with her? Why is that wrong? I want her to leave him. I want her to put him in her past. And I think that starts with contacting social services and finalizing everything that needs to be finalized and going about it the right way.
Well, given everything that you just said to me, Brian, do you really think that giving her the numbers to social services, when that information is readily available to her, you really think that's going to change anything in this situation?
I don't know, Victor, but I can try. Anyone in their right mind would cut ties with this man. I don't understand the hold that he has on her. She's not a dumb girl. She's very intelligent. She's smarter than me. I don't get why she's so connected to him. I don't get how she can continue to forgive a deadbeat.